Welcome to the Motivational Medium podcast. I'm Anne-Marie Lord, a psychic medium, author, and the founder of the Motivational Medium Academy. On this podcast, we'll explore intriguing topics such as mediumship, psychic abilities, and the amazing idea that we all have intuition within us. Whether you're a believer, skeptic, or somewhere in between, get ready to unlock your extraordinary potential as we discover the supernatural world together. If you want your questions featured on the show, be sure to join my tribe by subscribing to my newsletter at annemarielord.com. Let's go. Hello, my friend. Welcome to today's podcast. I wanted to talk to you today about manifestation. You know, we hear this all the time. Oh, I manifested the man of my dreams. I manifested the house of me dreams. I manifested me dream job, me dream car. And I wanted to talk to you a little bit about it because there's also some people that say to me, I've been trying to manifest for years and nothing's happening. So why can some people manifest and manifest the dreams and some people can't? So in today's podcast, I want to talk to you about my take on this, what I think and why I think that some people can actually manifest and some people think they can't. So what do I think it's all about? I think it's all about belief, trust, mindset, and energy. And if we can get all these things correct, then we can have what we want. If we leave one of them out, then I actually think we will get maybe part of the manifestation, but we won't get it all. Now, many of you may have heard me talking about how I always had on my vision board this Range Rover, this black Range Rover with tinted out windows. I even used to see myself going through the doors to the showroom. It had a big red bow on it and it was on my vision board for ages, and I even had the month that I was going to get it and the year that I was going to get it. Now, a lot of things happened. I did get a brand new car, which I'm very, very grateful for. You know, that's a massively fortunate thing to have. I did go through the showroom doors and it had a big red bow on it, and it did have black tinted out windows. It was a black SUV. And it was also in the month of October when I had on my vision board. The only difference was it was a Nissan Qashqai and not a Range Rover. So why did I manage to get everything or most of what I wanted in this vision, in this dream, but it just not being a Range Rover? And for me, it was about belief and trust. Now, I believed that if I worked hard, you know, there's one of the other beliefs that you have, you don't have to work hard. But I believe that if I worked hard, if I had this on my vision board, if I trusted to a degree that I would get this. But my trust system and my old beliefs from the early days of my life was you can't actually afford a Range Rover. You know, I come from a very working class family. When I was growing up, we had 6 kids, mum and dad. Nan came to live with us for a while. Our street was full of kids that had between like maybe 14 kids, and we were one of the least kids in the street, and there were 6 of us, you know, but money was really, really tight. And growing up, we got luxuries maybe for Christmas and maybe even small luxury for your birthday. But abundance wasn't in plenty when I was growing up, not in our family and not in all the families that lived around me. So my belief system was always scarcity. So I believed that because I was a nurse and I knew that I was running a great business and, you know, all these other beliefs that I could have an amazing car. Would it be a Range Rover? That's where my belief system let me down. Now, how can we change that? And it's about trust. It's about letting things go when we create the vision. So let me try and explain this. And the best way for me to try and explain it would be when we look at vision boards. Now, lots of people, me included, we create these vision boards. And if you don't know what a vision board is, I actually create a vision and a gratitude board and a vision board all on the same board. So on the gratitude side, I put things that I've achieved in my life, like writing my book, living in Australia, living by the ocean, by the Indian Ocean, all these amazing things, my children, all these kinds of things that I've visualized. And I'm very, very grateful for running a brilliant, successful business. I am so grateful for that. So I put all these things on my gratitude side of the board. And why I do that is because manifestation, you have to have your energy high. So I also put this in my office, not in my working office where I see my clients, but I put it in my office at home. Now, it's a private thing, so that's why I do that. So then on the other side, I actually put all the things that I want to manifest into my life, like maybe traveling around the world or traveling to a specific country. I'm building a new house, that was on there. All the things that great health, making sure that my health is good. All these things are going on the other side of the vision board or are on the other side of the vision board. Now, where we fall down on this then is we sort of sit back and let it happen, but we don't totally believe that it will happen. If you've got I want to travel first class on a plane, straight away, some people will say, or even business class on a plane, or even traveling on a plane, some people might say, nah, I can't actually achieve that. So straight away, the belief system and the trust falls down, just like mine did with the abundant mindset. So what do we work on? Do we work on trying to make this happen and put an energy into this, into being, we need this coming from a scarce point of view? Or do we go and do some work on our belief system or lack of abundance, money, finances, or lack of scarcity and how scared we are connected to money? If you're constantly thinking about money and it's in a negative way, then you will find that money can be quite scarce around you because you're putting a different kind of energy into that situation. So it's not just about putting stuff on a vision board and then leaving the vision board there. It's about then going maybe work on what you feel your trust or your negative beliefs are around that. Now, you could have a beautiful home, you could have all the money in the world, but then you've got really bad health. And why have you got bad health? Because maybe people in your family have always suffered from certain circumstances, or like me, when I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's in February in 2023 and hypothyroidism, which affects the rhythm of your heart. I actually went on to Facebook pages and started looking and reading all about this stuff that goes on when you have this illness. And then I had to catch myself on. I was like, oh yeah, I've got that. And oh yeah, that happens. And what I was trying to do is I was trying to educate myself on what this disease or this illness was all about so that I could live my life differently, or so I could put things into place that would actually enhance my well-being, mental, physical, emotional, to combat this Hashimoto's. But what I found myself doing is I found myself reading these sites and all the negativity and the comments on there, and I found I was getting embroiled in all this. And I just thought one day it was like a light bulb moment. I was like, hang on a minute, I need to get away from all this. So what I did was I deleted all the groups that I'd attached myself to try and figure out all this information, because it is a minefield with this Hashimoto's. But then I decided to look at what I do know. I don't need to focus on the illness. I need to focus on health. So that's what I did. I went back to the drawing board and I decided not to focus on that, to focus on health. And that's when the changes happen. I even put a post on the other day because I woke up and my face was quite swollen. And I realised what I'd done because you forget you've got Hashimoto's. You're just taking the medications and the supplements and you just completely forget you've got it because you're living your life focused on health rather than focused on the illness. And because I'd had a few glasses of wine and I'd let gluten into my life a little bit, I got a little acknowledgement. Hello, remember us? And my face was a little bit swollen. Back onto health, yeah? Not focusing on the illness, I've focused on health. So where I'm going with this is when you're doing your vision board, I want you to think about what are you focused on? Are you focused on your lack? Or are you focused on, yeah, I can have that, and then forget about it? Because that's what I do. I now focus on health, how to keep fit. I go my walks, I do my yoga, I eat well, and then I feel well, you know? But what are you focusing on when you're trying to manifest something in your life? And be honest with yourself. Are you focusing on your lack? Are you focusing on not quite trusting because, like I did, the abundance mindset or the lack of abundance mindset that I had? Obviously, it was never going to be because I didn't believe that I could ever have a Range Rover. It's about what you focus on. So if you've got something, I wanted to just do something with you. If you've got something that you want in your life, I want you to get a pen and paper and I want you to write it down. Something that you want. It could be health. It could be a relationship. It could be a new home. It could be fun. It could be more enjoyment within your life. Anything you want to manifest into your life. Now, I would say start small. And the only reason I'm saying start small is because you want to gain that momentum of success. Because when you gain that momentum of success, it feeds in that belief system that you can have whatever you want. Does that make sense? So if I believe that I can achieve anything, or if I can go for a walk 5-6 days a week and I start doing that, then my belief system is that becomes easy. Whereas to someone else like me in February 2023, I was quite sick at that time. That was impossible. So for me now, I focus on what I can do and I bring it in small. It helps grow my belief system. So I would say start with something small. Look at what you want. Then I want you to look at when do you want it by. Now, a lot of us will say, okay, I want, I don't know, say $500,000 or $1 million and I want it in 2027. Now that is too far away. Because that gives you the opportunity to say, oh, that's good. It's so far away. I don't have to worry about it. Yeah. But then if you say, okay, I want it by next week, it brings up that this isn't going to happen. It's too soon. So you're checking out of your belief system. So I want you to put something in there that is just far away to be comfortable. And it's not too close to be too uncomfortable, if that makes sense. So when do you want it by? Now, what do you want to do in return to get this? Okay, now this is something important because the law of attraction and the universe works on exchange. So if you say like me for my readings, I always say, I used to say years ago when I was seeing people like week from week, I used to say, I would love to be 6 months fully booked in advance, What will I do for that? I will learn, I will study, I will show up 100% me. Every person that sits in front of me, I show up 100% me. And that's what I started doing right away. So every person that was booked in the next day or the next day, absolutely showed up 100%. I started working on my knowledge around things. I started studying. I started reading lots of books so that I could show up the best for my client. That was my exchange. And now I'm fully booked up. I think it's something like February or April next year, and I don't even think about that now. It has no emotion attached to that. I just focus on what I'm going to show up, and I show up 100% me for that day, and the rest follows. So does that make sense? So what I want you to do is I want you to think about what you want. When do you want it by? So don't make it too far. It feels like really, really comfortable. And don't make it too close that it doesn't feel comfortable at all. What do you want to do in return to get this? And that's important. The universe works on energy exchange. So you can focus on what you can do. So I knew that I could study and I could work hard and I could show up 100% for my clients. And while I'm focusing on that, it takes the worry energy or the non-belief energy that I haven't got clients booked in. And then what happened is the energy, it just kept going. Now, even in the live events that I've been doing, they've all been fully booked out. Every single one of them. It's just, I work on me. I promise I'm going to show up 100% for the audience. I show up 100% me for the clients, for the audience. And that's what I focus on. So take it back into you. What can you focus on? So if you want to create a loving, kind relationship, rather than look outside knowing that someone else can be loving and kind, and that's what you want to bring in, you focus on making you a loving and kind and attractive. I don't mean physically attractive, I mean emotionally and energetically wise, attractive for other people to be drawn into you, because we all connect together through energies. There could be people who are always miserable and they're always angry and quite self-centered. Who do you think they will draw into their energy? The same. So think about your energy, work on you. Always, always. I say it, I've said it in my book, I say it multiple times on the podcasts and in readings. Work more on you than anybody else, and don't expect anybody else to make you right or to fix you. This job, my friend, is yours. You came into this world by yourself, and you will leave by yourself, and you walk every single day with you. You wake up every single morning with you. You go to bed every single night with you. How about making you amazing? How about working on you rather than worrying about what other people think or trying to make other people happy? Lots of us, I was a huge people pleaser, huge. And now I focus on working on me, and how that attracts other people into your life is amazing. I don't always get it right. Don't get me wrong. We all have off days and we all have negative days. But if you work more on you, then what you put out there and what you want to manifest into your life will come. Okay? So what do you want to do in return to get what you want? Think about it all in everything. What we've spoke about on this podcast today. Set yourself a dream job, dream relationship, dream career, dream business. But my friend, you've got to believe you can have it. And if you believe and trust and step into that energy, then anything is possible. Think about your dream job. Is that going to just come knocking on the door? No matter how many vision boards you've got. You can create it on your vision board. But then you know what you're going to have to do? Zip up your resume. Make your CV look like it's the best thing ever. Work on you. Do a little bit more education. Show up for that interview with high energy, with positivity, in smart clothes. Like it's the main thing that means something to you. like it should. And that dream job will be yours. But you've got to apply for it. What are you going to do to achieve your dream? That career, that business that you've always wanted to do, don't dabble in it. Don't do it half-heartedly. Jump in, step in. Now, I know I can hear all you people that are listening to this straight away going, yeah, but I can't. There's no such word as can't. If you've read my book, The Grateful 3 Approach to Life, there's no such word as can't. Change it to I won't. And what happens there is it gives you an opportunity. I won't step into my own business. I won't create my own business. And why? Because it takes hard work, dedication, some knockbacks. Nothing is ever a failure. It's either a success or a learning. But the only person that can do all this is you. And that also brings me on to manifesting the person that's coming into your life. You'll have heard me speak about this on a previous podcast about, getting your soulmate in through the door. Your soulmate, if you're a person who likes fine wine and beautiful food and traveling the world, then there's certain swipe date sites that you're not going to find that person on. So why bother looking? It's because of your belief system. I believe that maybe that's all I'm worth. No, you're not. You're worth so much more. So much more. Work on you and you can have whatever you want. You might get some knockbacks. That's okay. That's the way life works. You might get some moments where you think, oh, that didn't quite go the way I wanted it to go. That's okay. Don't forget, it's either success or it's learning. Nothing is ever a failure. So I hope that helped you today. And I hope that helped you to manifest your dreams. Okay? I'm not an expert on this. There's loads of experts out there, I suppose. But I do know this stuff because I work with it every day. I talk about it all the time. I bring it into my own life. I have brought it into my own life. My kids bring it into their lives. Manifest your dreams. The only thing that manifestation stands for, or manifesting, is making it real. All right. Be good, be kind, and be grateful. And I'll catch you next time. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this show. It's important to note that while I'm here to inspire, encourage, and guide you, I'm not a psychologist, psychiatrist, or a doctor. Join me again in 2 weeks for more captivating revelations on the supernatural. Remember to be in with a chance to have your questions answered on the podcast. Subscribe to my newsletter at amarylord.com. Stay in the tribe to vibe. I appreciate you guys. See you next time.